Hi everyone and welcome to this course on React.js. In this course, we'll talk about React.js and we'll explore all of its functionalities, how it works, what is it used for, and basically we'll see everything about React.js. So what is React.js? React is basically a JavaScript library, but some people consider it as a framework of JavaScript because React.js is comparable to AngularJS. But in reality, React.js is a library that was developed by Facebook. So it is maintained by Meta, formerly Facebook, and a community of individual developers and companies. Additionally, React is called as a single page application. So as an example, we have this website in front of us. So we have this website that you can clearly see in front of you. So it's Node.js, which is not built on React. Now, if you wanna transition from one page to the other, you can do this by clicking on the page you're looking to go to. So when you click on it, the page will reload again and again. So in this case, we are on the home page and we're moving to the about page. And as you can see, the page is reloading and then displaying the about page. Now, we are moving to the next one. We download the page, so it will reload it, and then it displays the download page to us. Okay, so now let's talk about websites that are created with the help of React.js. So when making a transition to the different pages, only special components are being refreshed and displayed. For example, here, if we click on entertainment, you can see that only its component is being rendered and not the whole page. The same goes for the technology component. It's doing the same thing. So basically, this is the advantage of React.js. It only refreshes the component and not the whole page. Alright, so in React.js we use components, and using components gives us the advantage of reusability. So in React, a reusable component is a piece of user interface that can be used in various parts of an application to build more than one user interface instance. Meaning that you can use the reusable component here and there on different parts of the website. Alright, so basically this is the idea behind React.js. Now let's properly begin this journey, but first we have to download some plugins. So I know that you're doing development. In this course, you're learning about development, so you must have the best IDE to be able to do so, where you write your code. In addition to your IDE, you have to download this software here. You have to go through this website, Node.js. You have to download and install this in your system as well. Okay, so after clicking on this, it will be downloaded into your system. It's a simple process, basically. Alright, so after the download is done, you have to go to the command prompt, make sure that this plugin is being installed in your system. Okay, so to do that, you write this command, node --version. If you can see the version, it means that Node.js has been installed in your system. Now, depending on what time you're watching this, you might have a different version, but you get the idea. Okay, so after Node, you have to check the npm version. So just to make sure that it's been installed or not. Alright, so both versions have been installed in my system. npm stands for Node Packing Manager. So why do we use npm? I'll explain it to you using a simple example. And the example is the following. So if we talk about Amazon warehouses, for example, they have lots of products available in there. Now, if someone wants to sell their products there, they reach out to Amazon and can sell it through them. So if a consumer wants to buy a product, they will only need they will only need to go to Amazon.com. They will need to visit Amazon.com and buy it from there. And Amazon will ship it to them. Like Amazon will ship the product to them. Now, when it comes to coding, if we try to look for similarities with this example, of course, this example has nothing to do with coding, but we're trying to find some similarities, some patterns. So if we try to look for similarities, it will be in the following manner. So we have foreign developers who come and compile their code. Then they need to place it somewhere. So they come and place it on the NPM website. And if any consumer or customer wants to use it, so if they want to use it, then they will need to, let's say, have a contract with the NPM website, and then they can install the package in their system. So that's basically how it works. It's in the same way that, it's exactly the same way how a marketplace functions. Like, it connects the providers to the people who are interested, the buyers and the sellers. And that's basically how it works. So we connect the developers who can like store their code in this on this website, on the NPM website. We connect them with the users of those codes. All right, so like if we want to install the Bootstrap as well in our project, we can do it by using the npm.bootstrap and it will be installed. All right, so that's pretty much it for this lecture. And now on to the next one. In this lecture, we learn how to create our first React app. So after creating the React app, we will understand the basic syntax of React. Then we will write our first React program here. So first of all, I go to the official website of React.js. Here, they have given all the commands on how to create a React app. You can see it from here and can follow me as well. All right, so let's move to our code editor. Okay, so here I made a folder. You need to make your folder as well, anywhere you want to create your React app. After creating it, you can open your terminal by clicking here. After opening the terminal, we'll write this. So npx create React app first application. This is a command from which the React app can be created. So we'll write npx create React app. After writing it, you can write any name for your React app. So it's up to you when it comes to the name that you want to give. All right. So since this is our first React app, that's why we're naming it like this, first application. Okay. After writing this, we'll press enter and then our app creation will start. This may take some time depending on the processor you're using. So we'll wait for a while, like let's wait a little bit. And now our React application has been created. Great job. All right. So after the creation, you can see that some folders have been created on this side, but you do not need to panic as this React app works in this way. So that's how it works basically. Just don't panic. It's normal what you see in front of you. When you create a React app, some folders and files are created by default as well. So there are some of the files. There are some of the files which are unnecessary, of course, and we don't need them. So we'll remove them. All right. So there is a process of removing them, which is called cleanup. It's called the cleanup process. Before doing the cleanup process, let me show you how to start your React app. So let's see how it looks like. Let's see how the app looks like. Okay. So here they've given us 2 more commands and we'll use them as well. So basically we have to move to the directory with the name we've given to our React application. Its name was first application. We'll move to the directory. And to move towards the directory, we use the command cd. We'll write cd first application. Now we have moved to this directory. Now we have to write npm start. Then our React application will start. So here the development server is getting started and it will take a few seconds. Okay, so now our application has been started. This application is running on localhost colon 3000 by default. Now you can see that there are lots of files and folders and there is some content in them as well. So let me teach you the syntax. Basically, the React app it works in a hierarchical manner. So first there is a parent and then it has some children and the children keeps on forming till till we need it to be. forming, like till we want it to be. Like how far we gonna go with the tree structure, it's really up to us. So these children can be components, functions, or anything like that. But the parent is always just one. Like, you know, like it comes once. We just have one parent in the React application. All right, so the index.html file in the public folder is the parent in the React application. And you do not have to use this file. So this is the parent. This single div is always the parent in the React application. And after that, there are different files like app.js and others that you can see. But the index.html file is always the parent. And you guys should not touch it. All right, so now you can see that our application is running. It means that our application has been created. Okay, so it's showing by default due to this file, but we don't need all of this in our application. We will design our application by ourselves. So to remove it, we'll use the cleanup process. That's the process that will follow. You need to follow me so as to, you know, like if you want to know which ones are the files that I'm removing from my application, pay attention to what I'm doing and just try to follow through. All right, so I'm removing from the application things like setup, tests, and other files that we do not need. So we'll delete them. Now our files have been removed, so some errors are appearing after deleting the files. So we'll delete it as well. Basically, it is a component or function. So we'll learn how all of this work in in the next lectures. So we are removing it as well. So after removing it, we're getting more errors. You don't need to be worried about that for now. We'll deal with the errors and we'll figure out the solution. So we don't need this content too, so we're removing it. We want to start from 0. So as you can see, the files which have been removed, we have to remove their content as well from different places. It's not enough just to remove it like this. We have also to remove their content as well. So I'm finding that from the error it's showing me. Okay, so since we deleted the files, we need to remove the content from everywhere. If we do not remove the content, it will create some problems later on. So now our cleanup process is completed. You can see that in the beginning we had a lot of files and folders, and now we only have a few remaining. So that's great. It's much more, like structured and clean. It's way more clean like this and organized. Yeah, like before it was a total mess. All right, so we'll start from 0 now. I'll try to explain every single concept and everything that I'm doing, like step by step. Okay, first of all, we'll talk about the node modules. The node modules are the packages you install through npm. Their dependencies are stored in this folder. For example, if you install Bootstrap, then its dependencies will be stored here. If you install Font Awesome through npm, then it will store here as well. It will be stored here as well. So after that, we have the package.json. The files I'm telling you about, the files I'm telling you, I'm talking about, need not to be touched. Like these files that I'm referring to now need not to be touched. They are very important. Like these files are very important files, and without these files, your app cannot run. So please do not touch them. Do not delete them. Keep them as is. All right. So in the package.json, the metadata of your application are stored here. For example, your app's name, version, dependencies, scripts are stored in these files. You don't need to learn about this file as it's not important, but you don't have to delete it neither. So yeah, don't delete it. Just keep it as is. This is a parent root, so everything starts from here. After that, we come to sources like index.js. This file is very important because from here it's rendering. So render basically displays the content of the application on the browser. Okay, so I'm removing this as we don't need it for now. I'm simply telling you about the React DOM random function. So let me tell you in some simple words how this function works. Okay, let me display like we are displaying here, hello. So these are two parameters in the render method. One parameter is that you want to display, and the second one is where you want it to display. Okay, so I told you that the root is the parent. Obviously, whatever will be displayed will do so in relation to the parent. So root is our parent and render is basically what is displaying on the browser. So we're displaying this here. We have to display hello here at the parent position. Okay, so we can see the result after saving it on the browser. Okay, so this is how it works basically. We'll discuss it in detail as we move on. Alright, so this is our first step to create our first React application. We wrote our program, so we created our first program. So officially, you have made your first React application. Congrats! And now on to the next lecture. In the last video, we saw how we can create our React application. We created this function in which hello is written. And now we'll go deeper and further in our understanding about React.js. So you may be wondering how does this simple HTML file works? Like it looks like a simple HTML, but if you see that if you see technically how it works, like in the render syntax, it's not HTML, but it's basically a JSX element. Alright, so before teaching you about the JSX elements, let me tell you how this function works. So we'll go to the website named Babel and we'll paste this render function there. So now you can see how this function is working. Actually, our browser doesn't understand the React language, and when the function is launched in the browser converts it into his own form. It's basically the same thing. If you've noticed that if you've studied the simple JavaScript, you will know what's happening here. Like if you went through some JavaScript lectures or some JavaScript course, you will know what's happening here. It's basically creating the simple element in which the content is hello world, which is being rendered here. So the JS element allows you to use JavaScript and HTML side by side. If you are simply talking about JavaScript and HTML, like this is a simple HTML file, and if you want to use JavaScript as well, you first make the HTML file and you call the JavaScript file with the help of the JSX file. So you don't have to do that in this case. So you can simply use HTML and JavaScript together here. Because here, the render function renders HTML and the JavaScript method is rendered as well. So this is much easier by using JavaScript. Alright, so if you talk about React DOM, we have to import this thing named as React. So React allows us to use JS elements, and if I remove this here, you cannot use the JS element anymore. So JS elements makes this thing much easier. You don't have to make a separate file for JavaScript and like all the complexities that comes with it. You can only take JS element so that you can use both HTML and JavaScript together. So that was the basic part. But if we move on further, like when we are having more fragments, we'll use JavaScript in JS elements. Alright. When it comes to JS, it's not necessary for you at this point to make extra files and render it. Okay, so hope everything is clear, and now on to the next lecture.